So, are you in a relationship or are you in a routine? Those are two different things. Hey there, beautiful people. Welcome. If you are new here, I am Dani Wigfall, your go to relationship coach. I also happen to be a creative artist, mental health therapist, mom, wife, yada yada. The list goes on. We're not getting into those things right now. Here on my channel, I love helping people design their remarkable life, grow deeper in love with themselves and possibly someone else. So if that's something you're into, kick your feet up, relax, and let's get into it. It's so easy in our relationships to just fall into routine. Every morning we do this, we work, we sleep, we watch some TV, we work, we watch some TV, we sleep. It's just that repetitive going over and over and over again. Some days we may switch it up, some days not, right? We're talking about the same thing. There's no spark. There's no specialness to it, right? It's just we're doing the same thing day in, day out, day in, day out, right? So, are you in a routine or a relationship that has a little spark to it? If you feel like you've lost your spark, that's okay. Okay, I am here to help you out with that. We can spice it up a little bit so it feels like, ooh, I want this relationship. Not, okay, this person just happens to live here, right? And that is also how couples grow apart is we're living together, but we're not doing life together. There is a difference, okay? A lot of people can have roommates. Is your partner turning into your roommate or is it your partner? Okay, there is a difference. Did you hear the partner? There is a difference. Okay, so here are some signs you'll want to look at to make sure you're not falling into the routine. Things are going well in your relationship and things like that, but it may be stale. It may be stagnant, and we don't want stale relationships. Like, I don't teach on how to just survive in your relationship. No, we're thriving. We're being alive. We're feeling all of the feels, right? And sometimes we're ignoring some of those feels. Let's be real. We can't feel all the feels and go with all the feels because then you'll just be like, whoa. Okay, but let's get into some of the signs if you're feeling like my relationship may be stagnant, it may just be routine. Here are some things to look out for. What do your conversations look like? Are you talking about the same things over and over? Do they have meaning? Do they have purpose? What are you talking about? Just simple communication. Is it more so just errands? This is the routine. This is what we have to do. This is where I have to go. I have to be here at this time. Is it just scheduling? Is it the random nagging about what happened at work? Things like that. Pay attention to your conversations. Can you switch up the conversation? Ask some incredible questions. There's a lot of games out there. There's a lot of things if you need help finding inspiration on asking interesting questions to go there with your partner. But ask something interesting, like if we only had this amount of money, where would we go? What would we do? How can we make that happen? Right? Adding a little more flavor to the relationship, to the conversation. But if the conversation is just, okay, I need to be here by this time, you need to be here by this time, make sure you have this, pack up the kids, do you have the bottles, do you have this, did you feed the pets? Blah, boring. And it gets old and stale after a while, right? And so we don't want stale relationships. So let's kick it up a notch with conversation. That is an easy way to look at your relationship and add a little flavor, add a little spice, add a little adventure. If you're not naturally spontaneous, maybe it's time to try something new. Step out of your comfort zone. Don't just sit in your comfort zone or wait for your partner to come up with amazing conversation because maybe that person is the talker, right? So switching it up a little bit. Let's spice it up. Number two, you're doing the exact same date nights over and over and over. They're the same time. They're similar places or different places. You're getting the same thing off the menu, maybe different things, whatever. Switch up date night. If you normally do a date night, maybe one day you'll do like a morning or something like that, or you'll go to a different place. I always love to inject like a day trip, something that takes a little bit to go to if you can. Now, sometimes depending on that phase of life, you don't have access to that because you might have other responsibilities, you might have kids and things like that. But that doesn't mean you use that as a crutch and you don't go out and you try something new, do something different. Even if it is trying a new food place, trying something different out of the ordinary, trying a class, a cooking class, a wine tasting class, a wine pairing class, a painting class, roller skating. There's so much you can do, even creating a picnic in the park, so much fun. But do something different for date night. Don't let it always be, okay, we go out for dinner, we go home. We go to the movies, we go home. Movies is not top on my list because movies you can't even have conversation. You can have conversation towards the end or if you plan to do something after that, but movies is just two people sitting here watching something, enjoying something. That's great. But if that's the end of the date, oh, it's going stale. It's going stale. Adding a little bit more to it where you guys are intermingling versus, okay, here we are together side by side, but we're not connecting. We're not growing deeper together. So look for opportunities where you can get to know that person better, or you can even just get curious. Even if you've been together for 20 something years, you can still get curious about your partner. So switch up date night, try something new, hire someone, get ideas. Don't just be stuck in the routine because the routine is easy and that's all you know. Yes, that's all you know because that's all you've looked up. If you don't explore new things, you won't find new things. But I can guarantee you, if you're this far in the video, you don't want a stale relationship. And I don't want you to have a stale relationship because, like I said before, it leads to that we're living together, but we're growing apart. It leaves a lot of space for that, okay? And you don't want to grow apart. You want to do life together. There is a difference. Okay, another sign would be just having an emotional disconnect, right? So sometimes technology can get in the way of this, and technology could be technology for work, it could be computers, it could be phones, even just the doom scrolling. Instead of just connecting and taking those opportunities to grow deeper with your partner, it's like, oh, the easy thing to do is let me dive into this world here, whether it's my laptop, whether it's my computer, whether it's whatever techie thing it is where it allows me to emotionally disconnect. Because sometimes we look for that, is it's going to create just staleness in a relationship, okay? So finding those opportunities, even if you have kids, shutting it down, having a certain time where it's like, okay, shutting off the laptop, putting the phone somewhere else so you can just emotionally engage, grow deeper with each other. You'll be surprised what you'll come up with. It might seem a little awkward at first of like, okay, well, what do I say? What do I do here? But start asking the questions. There's plenty of websites, there's plenty of games, there's plenty of conversational card games to even get for this. There's so many resources at our disposal, and you might have to use your phone to get the resources. I understand that. But remember to put the technology away and grow deeper with each other. Because if you count up all the hours and the time that you spend on your phone or distracted or disconnecting or disassociating, so much more time. And there's a place for that. I'm not saying don't do that ever. There's a place for that. But when you create more opportunities to just really connect with your partner, oh, it could be so much greater. Another sign is, I call this just settling. And in some seasons, we settle and then we feel unsettled because we're growing, right? Are you still pushing your partner to grow? And I don't mean pushing, but are y'all challenging each other? Are you guys looking at each other's goals? Where are you guys? Are you helping each other get there? I always say relationships are almost like driving a car. It takes one, if you have one person here, you're holding the steering wheel. Both need to maneuver to go straight, right? If there's one person just doing everything that they want to do, that's not going to work. Or vice versa. Or if you just, no one's moving and we're like this, you're going to veer off the road. So it takes little maneuvers to move forward in your relationship. So what maneuvers are you taking? Are you helping each other grow, or are you diminishing each other? Are you just okay with where things are right now? It's okay. You can be content and striving for more things, right? You can be content and not striving, but growing deeper in your relationship with that person, right? And that doesn't mean you're not content, but you may want more out of your relationship. You may want more spice. You want to know that person more. And you may feel like you know them pretty well and you don't care. It's like, I don't care at all. Do something fun. Find a creative activity. Talking may not be it, it may be just expressing yourselves in different ways. Shock yourself, shock your relationship. Get out of that. We do the same thing over and over and over. Think back to when your relationship was in the beginning and it was new and it was fresh. What were some of the things you liked then? Because sometimes we can be in a stale relationship for so long that it will confuse us and think that we just want a stale relationship. When really we've just got comfortable with the staleness, right? Get uncomfortable, not too uncomfortable unless that's your thing. But get uncomfortable, have fun, make it different, make it new, make it fresh. If you're feeling like, gosh, this is so boring, like if you look at your relationship and it feels boring, you have the power to change that. You and your partner have the power to change that. So make it different, make it look different. Be the leader on this ship. If you feel like, oh my gosh, we do the same thing, or my partner isn't even trying to connect with me, take those steps to change it. Don't just accept your relationship for how it is, because you drive your relationship. No one else does. You drive it, you and your partner. So if you don't like it, the cool thing is you have the power to change it. A lot of times we feel like it is what it is until we decide, you know what, this isn't working for me. It's time to go. And that's because we've spent so much time living together, just doing the same old routine without actually growing deeper with one another and without doing life together. So don't be the couples way far from now that are like, you know what, we tried it and now after 25 years, this isn't working, or 15 years, this isn't working. There's no spark, there's no fun, it's boring. We're two completely different people because we didn't create that opportunity to grow together. We chose to live together or just do life side by side, but not actually connected. So, yeah. And for some of you, this might be hard for your partner to just emotionally engage, but it helps to also find something they may be interested in to break the ice with this. So let's say if your partner is really into sports, it's not really your thing, maybe starting off talking about something with sports related and then leading into something else or whatever the case may be, but finding what they may be interested in. It could even be an activity, something they like to do, and then leading in to make it something different. It may be something that you have no interest in whatsoever, but the goal of this is connection, right? It's not be the best or enjoy this activity. It's enjoying your person, And now I'm not saying do activities you hate, you absolutely hate. No, I'm not going that far with it. So I do need to clarify that. But if it's not something that you would do on your own, but your partner enjoys it, giving it a go. So plan something unexpected. Have fun conversations, interesting conversations. Get help if you need to. Get out of the routine, break it up. If it's something, maybe we can meet up for lunch one day. Maybe I can pick you up one day and I have flowers or I have candies or I have like something planned, or things like that. Switching it up. It doesn't have to cost a lot of money. If it does, great. If it doesn't, great. It's going to be the thoughtfulness that you both intentionally are loving on each other that matters the most. And plan your quality time. Don't just expect, oh, well, it's Friday, maybe we'll do something. No, plan it out. Okay, this Friday I'm planning date night. Next Friday or 2 Fridays from now or whenever you're planning date night or you're planning something fun, an adventure or something like that. Whatever you guys like. But switching it up is going to be key. And don't be scared of the heart to heart conversations. Knowing how to have those conversations without being super defensive, but knowing that you two are on a team, This is a team where you guys are working together to solve whatever the problem may be. But have some heart to heart conversations on your date nights. And when you recognize, okay, maybe this is a bit much, we can table this, table it. That's fine. It doesn't always have to be addressed in that moment. But do address it. Don't just sweep it under the rug. Also, really, really uncover what does that person want to build, or what are they building? And go into their world. How can I help with this? How can I support them? Even if it's just verbal support, affirmations. I believe in you. I see you. I hear you. Actually, I heard my coworker saying this. What do you think about that? Things like that really, really show that you're interested in that person, not just, oh, let me talk about my day and only about my day. Be curious about your partner. You fell in love with them for a reason. Don't make it all about you. So that's another way you can switch it up. Don't make it all about you. Make it about the we instead of the me. And do I think it's important to have me time? Absolutely. I don't want to get that construed. It's very important to have me time. But when it's we time, that's important too. And I think it helps to schedule it to help get out of the routine. You can schedule spontaneous things in there, right? And I know that sounds like ironic, but it may be out of the norm for you. And that's what makes it spontaneous. That's what makes it different. That's what makes it fun. And you will learn a lot about your partner with that, which is also another fun thing. And then add it to, yeah, we're building this cool and amazing relationship, which is beautiful. Now, another thing, especially for my couples that have been together for years, it's so easy to take your partner for granted. So showing that you appreciate them in ways that maybe you haven't done recently can also be another way to get out of the routine and like spice it up, make it more fun, grow deeper with each other, right? Loving on them, because it's so easy to fall into like, well, that's what they're supposed to do, or they always do that, or this is just who we are, but showing that appreciation can go a very, very long way. And to add a cherry on top of that, showing appreciation in their love language, right? So if their love language is quality time, hey babes, I booked out this time for us. I knew you had this off and I scheduled X, Y, and Z. You creating quality time, showing you appreciate them, and then doing it in their love language, thank me later, okay? Or if it's words of affirmations or gifts or acts of service, physical touch, being able to appreciate your partner in the way that they cherish the most is beautiful. Trust me, you will be giving me brownie points for that one. I don't want them, but I'm just here. I told you, we're not going to have okay relationships. It's about having amazing relationships. And I think that's a beautiful thing. And I think it's something that so easily we can take for granted. So easily we get stuck in this, well, it is what it is. No help for me. I'm just happy we're together because I haven't seen other people, make it this far, whatever the case may be, whatever excuse you give. Know that things can be upgraded, things can be enhanced, especially in your relationship. If you feel like it's stale, it's stagnant, or just could use a little, a little something, a little something. Now, if you feel like your relationship needs help or you're having a hard time finding your person, there's certain things that you've experienced from your last relationships that you don't want to take into your next relationship, I am here for relationship coaching, whether that's individual or couples coaching. You can find me at wholeselfwealth.com. Schedule your free consultation because, let's kick it up a notch. We're moving into 2025, okay? We don't want to be in the same spot we were in 2024, 2023, and allow those same things to hold us back. So if you're looking to take it up a notch when it comes to relationships or it comes to you personally, reach out to me, send me a message, comment in the DMs, whatever. Until next time, see you on Tuesday. And if you haven't subscribed, for my smarties, don't you forget to subscribe. All right.